Namaste, angels. Thank you for joining, liking, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. Capricorn, this is your bi-weekly reading for the period of October 7th, Monday, October 7th through Sunday, October 20th. I am using several oracle decks. I'll just go over them quickly. Your overall energy for each one. First is Dating Queen, which for me is a very Three of Wands type of card. You see this woman has 3 potential suitors. For me, that is a potential possibility. It can be about us being particularly attractive and having a lot of people that are interested in us, and just being a magnet, and because we have a magnetic personality, we are looking good, we're feeling good, we're confident. It's very Venus, goddess of love, beauty, abundance, confidence. Even though she's all in red, it's divine feminine in her full glory. Red hair, red lip, red dress, and so it can definitely be about that. Some sort of party of 3, maybe a love triangle, but not necessarily, some other sort of thing. But also when I think of it in terms of the 3 of Wands, it lets me know that there's stuff on the horizon, but it's not happening yet. So like, this is a dating phase, right? This is the phase where we're just testing stuff out, and like, we're going to really have something concrete further down the line, but not right now. Right now, we're just, patiently exploring what's in the present, what's in the now, and that's these other possibilities. Then Bountiful Nature from the Abundance Oracle, and right away it made me feel like you might be dealing. This could be your energy, of course, as a Capricorn, an earth sign, but my first thought was, oh, some of them are dealing with another earth sign, and I'm thinking Taurus first and then Virgo, and that I may be thinking that because of Justice, because I keep looking at Justice. So Major Arcana card Justice, speaking of Venus, when I talked about the Dating Queen, represents the sign of Libra, which is ruled by Venus. She also rules the sign of Taurus and is the esoteric ruler of Gemini. And she's opposite the Magician here, which represents the sign of Gemini. But in terms of another earth sign, that's why I think it may be, if you're not dealing with another Capricorn, then Taurus, then Virgo, in that order, if you're dealing with another earth sign at all. But when I don't know, when I saw this card, that was my first thought, that somebody has a relationship with a fellow earth sign. Spending time in nature helps you to shift to a higher vibration and reminds you of God's infinite abundance. Go outside and enjoy a walk or a hike with your pet. Meditate beneath a tree or garden, or sit under the stars, or do some other type of activity to connect with the limitless vastness. And for me, that I'm just getting again that can include spending time with a good friend, a mate, a romantic partner, and that person expressly may be an earth sign like yourself. And that can also raise your vibration. When we're with the right person and everything clicks and aligns. When I've been in a good place, it doesn't even have to be who I believe to be my divine masculine. And I've had other experiences, even karmic things, when we're like, it's like wonder twin powers activate, I know I'm a little older than some of you, but it's just really like when you're aligning. So it could be with a friend too, and you're just clicking. I always feel that my gifts, so to speak, I was looking for a different word, but gifts, they're often heightened when I'm like that, when I'm really, really vibing with somebody. So that can be what that's about. This may be another reason why I thought it had something to do with love and relationship, because sitting next to it in the angel therapy cards, your overall energy is heart chakra. This is a very romantic spread, actually. Also like heightened sexual energy too. Heart chakra, and this too is giving me earth vibes, maybe because the angel on the card is clad in all green, and I'm going to presume that he is supposed to be Archangel Raphael, because Archangel Raphael is the patron of the heart chakra and of the emerald ray of healing. So maybe that's where the green is coming from. And again, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus associated with that green color for me. The answer that you seek is in your heart right now. Be open to giving and receiving love. So of course that doesn't necessarily mean it's something romantic, but it means we need to look within for our answers. The Queen of Wands. Whoa, okay. Well, first let me finish my sentence and my thought. The Queen of Fire. Confident, warm, intelligent, and graceful. Stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and your creativity. She brings positive vibes. It's hot in here. Everything's heightened. Positive vibes, warm, loving. It's just good energy, right? And when you see her, and especially she's upright, she means good things. Now, what I just was surprised by was that when I picked her up, it is upside down, but right behind her is the Three of Fire. And that's what I said this card was giving me. It was giving me Three of Fire vibes. So the Three of Fire, abundance. Things look very good. Have patience at this time and make long-term plans. Yes, things are, so like I said, let's be in the present because we're dealing with the now, but there is some stuff on the horizon for us. So you've got like double Queen of Wands or Fire energy with these two cards. It may mean something. These are not twin flame specific readings, or even what I like to choose to call them divine beings or divine unions. This reading is not specific for that. It's for any and everybody, but there is some very strong divine feminine energy going here. The Queen of Wands is also, whoa, I don't know if you saw that because I had these two cards in the, in the frame, but I have a huge piece of carnelian about this big. I have a few, but I had one specifically that was sitting right here. It was sitting right here. You may have noticed it sitting above the cards. I'm not sure, or not. I'm not sure if you ever saw it. But in any case, whether you saw it or not, it just took a flying leap off the table. It's not something light that may have just, oops, I fell. I mean, hang on, I'll get it. And this is not the first time. This has happened in another reading previously. Okay, it's heavy. Not something that should easily move. It was sitting right here. And I was over here. So I wasn't touching it. It committed suicide. Not sure what that's about, but it's part of the reading. Let me just show you the carnelian. Maybe somebody will have some sort of... I always see a letter K in it. But I don't really... I have a sister with a name that begins with... I have a sister that's a Kathy with a K. But that's... I have a friend named Karen. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Anyway. So yeah, you've got this. It's very divine feminine. Now also, I'm going to start jumping around. I can't help it. Because speaking of very feminine, it's also representative, the Queen of Wands or Queen of Fire, not only of the divine feminine, the tarot, but she's like the most, well, one of the most fertile energies in the tarot. Metaphorically, in terms of like new ideas and new projects and new things going on, just, new period. And literally, the devil, which represents your sign, Capricorn, your overall energy here is the devil in reverse. Devil can also be about sexuality and, fertility and prowess. He's there. As can be the Ace of Wands, whether up front or upright rather, or reverse. I sometimes refer to sex as getting the wand. Wands are fire. The suit is also about movement and growth. So again, it can be fertility in a metaphoric sense as well. But also the devil specifically in reverse, like yours is, can be about the need for you to, not the need for you to do anything, the awareness the surety that anything that's holding you back or been holding you back, as opposed to when the devil is upright and you're feeling stuck, you know that you can get out of. You know that there are options, there are ways out. And I'm putting these cards together. If pregnancy is a possibility with the Queen of Wands and the Ace of Wands in reverse, if that is not something you're interested in, then protect yourself against. Use the options to prevent it. I don't know who needed to hear that, but there it is. Because, yeah, we got a lot of cards that it can be indicative of pregnancy and fertility. So if you don't want a baby, there are options and ways to prevent pregnancy from happening. Condoms, other forms of birth control, abstinence, celibacy. When I picked up your overall energy, up right behind it is also the Ace of Swords. Like I said, there is some air energy here. You got a lot of major arcana. First of all, your overall energy, again, is the devil. The Justice in reverse is representing love and relationship, romance. Judgment, upright, is work and finance. And the Magician is here in the energy surrounding you. Could be close friends, family, or indirectly you know, not as directly as this one, which is the Ace of Wands in reverse. So that is 3 major arcana cards out of 4 in just this little tiny spread and your overall energy. But when I picked it up, that overall energy, again, the Ace of Swords is behind. The Ace of Swords is a card of victory, triumph, and often it's triumph after we've had a difficult time. So I feel like some of you were feeling stuck before, and now you have triumph over that kind of energy. You may have been helped out of it by the fact that now both planets that were retrograde in your sign have now gone direct. So your ruler, Saturn, was retrograde in your sign for about 4 months, and it went direct probably about a month ago. And the ruler of Scorpio, Pluto, was also retrograde in your sign, and it went direct this week on the 3rd. So this week, the week that I'm doing the reading, and the reading is actually for the 7th through the 20th. So certainly at that point, Pluto having gone direct. And so it's sort of like your sign is freed up, where it may have been feeling stuck, you know, as a whole, overall. You guys' energy is finally freed up. Next, overall energy for the romance cards, wedding. This situation involves marriage. And I feel that for some, this is also literal. And there's a new life that's about to begin. We got justice here. You know, it could be about marriage and things, legality. And we got judgment, upright, about good things coming to you, abundance that's earned, you know, just wonderful things that happen to you. We have the wedding card. We have the 2 queens of fire. We got the heart chakra. We got bountiful nature, which is about all kinds of abundance. So I just think for some, yes, this is very, very literal. And if you're not literally getting married, then there is, again, still a connection, a commitment, and a deepening of that commitment, or establishing of that commitment, or both. And you know, some people are not interested in getting married, and some people, at least in the present, the now, like maybe on the horizon, they'll want to take it further and be, you know, 3D married. But other than right now, in the present, maybe the soul level, sacred marriage is enough for them. Wedding. So some sort of, you know, deep connection there. And lastly, fear. And I do feel that that is also connected, well, not only in general to everything, but to the wedding in specific, and being afraid, again, of this like deepening of commitment, or maybe even getting married, like jitters. Somebody could be in the process over these 2 weeks. If they're not getting married during the 2 weeks there's like planning going on, a lot of intense planning. And, you know, you just get like jitters. You just get afraid. Not that you're not in love anymore. You absolutely are. There's, like I said, there's a lot of love and romance on this table, but it's just, you know, a scary thing. Just a scary thing. So there's fear there. But where there's fear, there's also divine guidance. So here's support, you know, share your fears. your desires, your goals, your dreams, the stuff you're proud of, all of that with the universe, with God, with, you know, whatever entity, whether on whatever plane it is you choose to share them with, you know. And that guidance that's divine is infinite. See the infinity symbol there? Oh, in red too. So it's like more fire is attached to that. When the moon shows up for me, the moon is representative also of feminine energy, sort of like you already got these queens. So a lot of very feminine energy as an overall sort of thing here. Moon representative of feminine energy of surrender for me. So just like letting go and letting God, as they say. Also very interesting. I didn't know this was here. But with all that I was feeling about the pregnancy and stuff, underneath the divine guidance is expectancy. Now, this card is not about pregnancy, but I have to at least in part attribute it to that too. Expectancy. Somebody pregnant or, you know, becoming pregnant during these 2 weeks. Otherwise, the card expectancy warns us of not putting our expectations upon the universe. It reminds us that the universe is so vast and grand, and by comparison, our imaginations are so minuscule that we really should not be trying to dictate to the universe how, when, why, what it is we need and want. Because we can't even imagine, we can't even begin to conceive what it can give to us. But we can make a focus intention. We can pray. We can attempt to manifest like the magician does without being overly specific. That way the universe is able to give us what we want and what we feel we need, but even larger than we ever imagined and even larger than life, you know, sometimes. Like I'm in shock. I'm stunned. I can't believe this is happening to me. I never would have thought, you know, those sort of situations. I never would have imagined that this would happen to me or I would get this. Yeah. That only comes when you don't try to box the universe in. That's what expectancy is about. So yeah, to take this surrender. When we surrender, we let go, let the universe do its thing. We release the fear. We'll be happily surprised. So, getting back to the card that represents your energy over this next 2 weeks, most directly, it is the Ace of Wands in reverse. And, you know, just like an Ace of Wands upright, it means that something is coming to you, a new beginning about which, or with someone about whom, you will be extremely passionate. This will make you extremely happy. There could be some sort of level of sanctity or divinity attached to it, with this hand of God being what, you know, reaches from the clouds to hand you this wand, this magnificent wand. With it in reverse, maybe it will be slightly delayed. Maybe it would have otherwise been anticipated sooner, but something is slowing it down. Maybe it's going to be grand. It's going to be awesome. You're going to be extremely passionate about it, but it's going to be slightly less grand than it otherwise would have been if it was upright. This can apply to work, home life, love life, anything, something new coming to you about which or about whom you are going to be extremely passionate. It's just going to make you happy. Now that Ace of Swords, like I said, can be about good things that are coming to you. Yes, a new start that's happening, but it's sort of like on the heels of difficulty. So that's one of the things that makes it so amazingly triumphant, is that this was a hard road that I traveled to get here in order to earn this. So it's like, wow, now I'm here. And sometimes there's still like 1 or 2 bumps in the road. You know, but you've made it. This is the Mama I Made It card. And the next card is upside down, but it is the 5 of Pentacles. So perhaps there had been a feeling before of lack, void, loss, and that is over what we are triumphant. And this these pentacles have the same energy as the devil, which is your energy, the earth energy. Also behind it, I mean, this one's upside down too, reversed too, but it's the Emperor. So maybe there had been something, again, controlling you. Something had some sort of control over you, but it does no more. It may even been money or material. You may have been somehow married to money. You know, it was just taking over. It was too important, too much expectancy attached to money and the material. But no more. We've like sort of released the fear associated with that. And in doing so, we've gotten some control back in our lives, like in a positive sense. One of the things that may have come in to help us and to free us from that feeling of lack is this major arcana card 20, Judgment, in the work and finance position. This, in terms of work and finance, it's just about good things coming. Again, this is about abundance that is earned in all forms. So specifically as it relates to money and the material, you know, there's some sort of payout coming to you. There's some sort of money coming to you. Earnings, you know, you've worked hard for them. You deserve them. Maybe a bonus, some sort of recognition, you know, some sort of award or reward. It may come in the form of some sort of contracts or something, especially having seen the Emperor here, you know, maybe government contracts or something like that. And again, back as it has to do with work, another thing, possibility with work is that you may have felt like your hard work and what you've been doing, what you're putting forth, the extra effort maybe, that it's gone unnoticed, and it has not. It is absolutely going, you know, you're being watched, you're being noticed because you're going to be recognized. That's how it's going to result in you being recognized. But similarly, even though it's upright, you know, there is the chance, like if you have been slacking off, then now's the time to also, you know, get with the program and sort of, you know, make sure that you're on the straight and narrow over these 2 weeks, again, because you are being watched. And then there, yeah, I guess that's all I want to say about that, because the next thing that I was thinking about doesn't really have to do with work. It started to come to mind that sometimes with Judgment upright, and needing to watch yourself, you also need to like watch your like speeding and you know, because it might be now when you get like a hefty ticket, and so in terms of the monetary, but that doesn't necessarily apply to work, or I can't think of how it might, unless you drive for a living. So maybe that's why it's coming up to me. Sometimes if I just talk it out, it starts to make sense. Yeah, maybe somebody drives for a living, and so there's all, again, because you're being watched, and maybe by a government entity, again with the Emperor sitting under here. Watch your the speed limit, and you know, make sure like your I don't know, your insurance and everything, like it's in order, and you know, you have it in the car where it belongs and stuff like that. And that takes us to justice, right? Because you don't want to get in trouble is what I was just thinking about with the Judgment. You don't want to end up with a judgment like against you in some sort of fashion. So yeah, moving over to justice in your love life and doing the right thing, right? When justice is around. And when, first of all, we're in the sign of Libra right now, right? The sun is in Libra. At the beginning of the period for which this reading, well, actually one day only, Venus will still be in Libra. Venus, which rules the sign of Libra, and on the 7th, and then on the 8th, she actually moves into Scorpio. But Mars, representative of the Emperor, will still be in Libra. In any case, Venus is the ruler of Libra and of love and balance and fairness and equality and equity. And that's what, you know, justice represents too in the tarot. And so when it's upside down like this, it's like, you know, maybe there's imbalance, maybe there's confusion in the relationship, if we have an existing relationship. And it's important that the positives and what we celebrate about the relationship and the recognition, the honor that comes with what goes on in the relationship, is that both people are recognized, that there's balance in that area. And it's important, you know, conversely, in the opposite too, that when there is trouble, there's difficulty, like, what did I do, you know, to contribute to this? What was my role? What's my responsibility? And, you know, it's going to be important to look at that and to be fair and reasonable about problems that you're having in your relationships, or in meeting people when justice in reverse shows up with regard to your love life. So even if you're single and, like I said, you're trying to meet people or you're open to meeting people, but things aren't going right, it's like, you know how they say if you keep having like certain experiences, it's time to look at yourself. Maybe you're the common denominator and stuff like that. Well, it doesn't necessarily mean that like it's on you, but some of it is on you. So it's important. This is a reminder. There's some of it is on you. Some of the responsibility is yours to carry. It's not all somebody else. He did that. She did that. They did this to me. You know, take the focus off of yourself and try to view things from a more fair perspective, like in an air sign, particularly like a King of Swords. You know, they're known for being diplomatic. And once you realize, like, what am I doing to help to cause this? If it's not something that you're, you know, interested in, if you don't like the outcome, it's not something you're interested in repeating, then you can change that behavior about yourself. I'm just realizing that I skipped over the Magician. So again, this is the energy of, you know, surrounding us. So it could be our energy, in which case the Magician in reverse, similar to the Magician upright, is about us being empowered. You know, we got superpowers. We can do all kinds of stuff. Look what I can do. You know, I can bring anything into my life that I need. The only difference, maybe, when it's in reverse, is that you might be hesitant to make some sort of change. So maybe you manifest more work, but there's a fear attached with doing more or earning more, being successful. I talked about fear of success in Pisces reading, actually. Fear of happiness, fear of joy. Yeah, that is a thing. The Magician, as relates to the Ace of Wands in reverse, is again something brand new is coming your way. And if this is in fact your energy, you might be afraid of it. Like, that's what I always wanted to do. I can't believe I'm really going to do it. Okay, panic mode. You know what I mean? Or that's with whom I always wanted to be. That's the guy I always had a crush on. That's the girl I always had a crush on. They're interested in me. I can't believe I got you. Oh my God, I'm going to die. You know, it's like that. So the ability to pull in exactly what you need and want, but then having a fear of actually having attained it or attaining it or needing to take the next step to move toward it. So work on that if you feel that you are one of the people with the fear. And then when you're asking yourself this question, what did I do? Maybe you put up a guard, because maybe as it relates to love, you panicked because it was too good. Things were going too well, right? Something about someone about whom you're extremely passionate. You're with them. You got them. You got the girl. You got the guy. And then it was panic mode. So maybe you pushed them away. Or maybe it was too intense. Eternal flame. Love was just too hot. It was just too intense. I also, so did I mention, if you're not a cuspian, like Sagittarius, Capricorn, Sagittarius, that fire was another element that I was not only seeing, but also feeling. And in that order, like Sagittarius, then maybe Leo, then maybe Aries. Or maybe I can switch Aries and Leo since we saw the Emperor. Sagittarius, Aries, Leo. You may have a relationship with a fire sign too. A lot of you. Earth, fire, and of the air element, Gemini or Libra. And it may be a pretty intense relationship with eternal flame from the Universal Love Oracle for the masculine. For the feminine, sacred union. I think this is the first time in any of these readings that I've done, these astrological readings, the sacred union has come out in the advice. I told you this was a hot reading. So some of you are either with like a soulmate, a soul level partner, or you'll be meeting them during these 2 weeks. And again, maybe a fellow earth sign like yourself, another Capricorn or a Taurus or Virgo in that order, a fire sign, a Sagittarius or a Leo, no, a Sagittarius or an Aries or a Leo in that order, or of the air signs, Gemini or Libra. No order in particular. From the romance angels to the masculine, religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. All right, for somebody that felt stuck before in a relationship, marriage even, you're able to free yourself now too. And that might be hesitant. That might be about what you're hesitant to do because of some religious factors, like it's against your religion or your belief system in general, ideology, to divorce, or, you know, what will the neighbors think and all that kind of stuff too. Because both of these have a sort of what would society think aspect to them. The Magician in reverse and Justice in reverse. So now with having pulled this religious factors, masculine, not feminine, not you, but masculine, you may be having a situation like that. Like you felt stuck in a relationship before, you wanted out, now you have an opportunity to get out and to get something brand new, or get someone brand new about whom you're extremely passionate, but fear has set in and you're hesitant to actually go forward with the divorce or whatever, because it's just like too intense, this eternal flame stuff. So your love life is being influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. Also, you know, to the more positive and as it relates to marriage and commitment, you know, it's again about the sanctity, the sacredness of the situation. For the feminine, passion. Didn't I say I keep saying someone or something about which you are extremely passionate. Yes. And this is a very Two of Wands kind of card for me too. So it's like more fire coming in. The Two of Wands and the tarot is the representation of divine unions or twin flame relationships as well. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. From the angel, wow. The Angel Tarot. It is Major Arcana card 19, the Sun with Archangel Uriel. The sun makes everything better, brighter. It illuminates things. If we were unclear about stuff, we're clear now, or we're getting clarity. It's just about positive things happening in our lives. And also in the tarot, the sun represents the sign of Sagittarius. I knew I was feeling that heavy Sag energy. Now, maybe I got to change the order of the other cards though, because Earth's star, the sun, to the actual sun, rules the sign of Leo. That may trump the Emperor and Aries. I don't know. For the feminine from the Angel Tarot, oh man, wow. Okay. It's the other one that I said. Major Arcana card 5, Unity. The Hierophant, which represents the sign of Taurus. Traditional viewpoints or methods. Spiritual organizations seek out mentors and like-minded friends. This is about higher institutions, including marriage. Could be about contracts, Again, in our work, things improving, abundance coming our way. It could be about a deepening of commitment, doing something, making changes to the people, places, and things with which we surround ourselves, and moving on to something or someone or some place with whom we better align. It's sort of like matches our vibration, or it's higher than our vibration, so we can actually learn something from it or them. Taurus, or the Hierophant. From the angel therapy cards, be willing to forgive. Ask the angels to clear your mind and your body of any past pain in exchange for peacefulness. That may be why we're hesitant to move, because maybe something in the past, it didn't go so well. Maybe we're talking about judgment can be about second chances. Actually, judgment can be about second time around. Yes, it's in the position of your work, but thinking of it in terms of relationships with the people that surround you, including at your work, or maybe a second time at giving a job, even, or something, a second chance. This could be why be willing to forgive is coming up. Second time around, second chances. I'm going to try again. So in order to do that, I have to forgive you for the first time, or forgive myself, or both, for the first time when things maybe went left. For the feminine angel therapy cards, power animal. Your animal spirit guide is a guardian to you, and it's helping you with this situation. So I explained in some of the other readings that the power animal, it's not just an animal that we like, that we find cute and fuzzy, and we wish we had one at home, but it's about our superpowers, sort of like the magician. When we really feel that we are embodying sort of some of the energy of an animal. Like I have a butterfly painting in front of me. It's a huge purple butterfly, and then it's got 3 small butterflies. It represents me and my children. My youngest daughter made it. But butterflies, I also sometimes wear a gold ring here with gold and sapphire ring that is a butterfly. Butterflies for me are all about transformation and transition and transcendence and reinventing yourself, and I'm all about all those things, death and rebirth, because the caterpillar sort of dies, right? It goes away, and you come back or it comes back as this new, completely different thing. Very much like that song by T.I., the old me is dead and gone. So you're not dead as if, you're no longer on this plane. You're still here, but that old version of yourself is done. And so that is what it means to me for the butterfly, for example, to be my power animal. But, you can apply any animal that you feel you share the traits with and energy of. From the abundance angels to the feminine, masculine rather, unlimited ideas. Your mind is one with God's infinite mind. Therefore, you have complete access to unlimited ideas, guaranteed to bring blessings. All you need to do is to take divinely guided action. Okay. To take divinely guided action to allow these ideas to come to fruition. Feminine. Dreams of abundance. As you sleep, God, your angels, and your higher self are giving you divinely guided ideas. Yeah, this is for everybody. It's not just for the masculine. So we get it too. And those are answers and solutions as well. Be sure to record your dreams in a journal, because they contain valuable insights that will help you to manifest your desires into reality. And for the masculine, his last card is blonde female. This is not a blonde female. She's a redhead, very obviously. And for me, in this deck, what I call my hashtag creepy deck, she is the representation of the divine feminine. So it's like a third queen of fire for you, masculine. And I would say that in love, it may mean it's time for you to go after your divine feminine, whether you are single and ready to mingle and it's time for you to get out there and meet her, or you've had an opportunity to be with her and she's ready to be yours in all shape and form, but you have to actually lock it down, or you're planning to get married again, but you're feeling jitters. Whatever it is, pursue. This is your passion. This is what you want. Allow what's in your heart to actually come to fruition for you. And lastly, feminine, open relationship. For me, this is all about living, loving out loud, how you want, making your own choices. You are free. And again, the other cards in your spread state the same thing. You are free to do what you want without worry about what, so-and-so down the block is going to say. Instead, listening to your heart. I hope that you guys have enjoyed your reading, Capricorn. Be sure to watch your rising and moon sign as well. And I'll otherwise be back for you in another 2 weeks. Thank you for joining, liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you want a personal reading from me, I'll have my information there, or, any of the services I have, energy healing, any way that I can help, or merchandise. Yeah, I'll have all the information there for you. Namaste.